Greetings to Suzette, Put of Other Genders and Persuasions. How you all doing? Okay, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. If you don't want to watch or listen, then that's fine, I don't have a problem. But it's just something I need to get off my chest. Now, I've flown to America, a fair few times. Usually I go with Virgin, or one time I went with Aer Lingus. But this time British Airways had a sale on. So I managed to fly, well, it's like premium economy, they call it World Traveller Plus, and with the money I saved from that flight, which was London to Denver, I managed not only to pay for flights to go from Denver to Vegas and back, but I've also saved enough money that I could pay for Warren to fly out as well. That's how good the sale was, right? So I thought, British Airways, they were usually pretty good. I've heard the odd thing about them, but I thought, as far as I was concerned, I was saving a shit ton of money with the flights. So yeah, save the money. That was the only reason really I chose British Airways. I flew in London to Denver purely because I wanted to do Illich Gardens. Well, me and Warren wanted to do Illich Gardens, and they only open on a weekend. And I didn't fancy flying in on a Saturday and doing Illich Gardens the day after I flew in, sort of thing. So I thought, okay. So hence why I went London to Denver, Denver to Vegas, spent a few days in Vegas, and then flew back into Denver for a few days before going home. But anyways, so yeah, the trouble started as soon as I got to Heathrow. I got the train and the Heathrow Express. So I walked with my suitcase and my bags and whatever, and my stick, up to zone for the check-in. Right. Now I'd done the online check-in, but I wanted to check my bag, and asked for special assistance, which is what I'd asked for. So not only am I first of all waiting nearly 20 minutes to check in, because there was some bloke, he had like loads of boxes. I don't know if he was like emigrating or something, but anyway. So I get there, check my bag, ask about special assistance. They say, yeah, we've got you down on that. You need a wheelchair to get through customs and get to the gate. And I was like, that's what I need, that'd be great. So she said, okay. So she's on the phone to them, and she's like, we just want to sit down, I'll organise something in a minute. She said, or you could go upstairs, take like the boarding card, whatever, go to the special assistance thing upstairs, which is by security, where you go through, through security. She said, or you can go and sit up there and wait there. So I was like, there were some other people already waiting downstairs. I said, no, it's okay, I'll wait here, it's fine. My flight was due out at 2:30, and this is 11:30. I checked in at 11:30. That's like 3 hours before my plane was due to fly out. Okay, and bearing in mind they close check-in about half an hour before. Anyway, so I'm sat waiting, and I'm waiting. A couple of other people can't turn up, take the other people off in wheelchairs as they do, and I was probably sat there maybe 20 minutes. Right, nice chap comes over, says like, first of all, he didn't say my name right. So I I thought he was saying something else. And then it went into, he was all talking to other people, and I said to this woman opposite, I said, what name did he say? And she said, I don't know. So I said to him, I said, what name was it again? And he went, and then he said my first name, and I went, that's me. I said, sorry, I missed you when you first said my name. I said, I didn't quite hear it properly. And he said, oh, no, that's okay. So sits me in a wheelchair, I've got my stick, I've got my bag, my backpack on my lap, goes across, up in the elevator to the next floor, and where does he park me? The special assistance bit that I could have got on the escalator and gone to and sat there myself and waited. So yeah, that's not the end. I am then sat there until, I was sat there over an hour. It was now 1:30, right? I had on my ticket, I was supposed to, because of being special assistance, I asked for priority boarding as well, right? I was supposed to be boarding at 1:45, according to my boarding pass, right? I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm waiting. 1:30, right? They finally go, okay, right, we'll take you through now. So I'm thinking, okay, great. Now, every other single airport that I've gone through with security in a wheelchair, they have a separate lane or a separate bit to go for the wheelchair. So basically push to the front. But it's not a case of pushing to the front, it's a case of not holding up the queue, because obviously in a wheelchair you're that little bit slower to get up and down, or if they push the wheelchair through and trying to get your stuff in the security trays to go through. Oh, it's a nightmare even if you're not disabled, right? So, goes through. Heathrow Terminal 3 is the only terminal out of the 5 that does not have a separate wheelchair lane. So basically, we're in the queue with everybody else. Now, that now explains to me why it was taking so long for people to come up to push people anywhere. Because they had to queue it was mind-boggling. It's like, why did they not have a separate wheelchair thing? It would have been quicker for the people to get in and out. We wouldn't have been accidentally knocking other people. We wouldn't have been getting in the way in the wheelchair. That's the whole point of a wheelchair lane, so we're not getting in other people's way. Right? So, finally get through. They like swap me shoes and all me stuff goes through. Blah, blah, blah. Get patted down. What have you. Fine, no problem. Get me stuff, right? At this point now, I literally should have been boarding. I should have been boarding, right? It's now 1:45. They push me through, right? I go up to like the main Terminal 3 bit where you got all your shops and your duty free and everything else, right? So they then park me round the corner for special assistance. And also, bearing in mind, I then see at least 3 other people still waiting in that area that had been pushed up about half an hour or so before me. So while I spent half hour downstairs, they'd spent half hour waiting upstairs. You know, so I'd actually said, what? I like to buy a bottle of Coke, a bottle of fizzy water and some chocolatey crispy nibbles for on the plane, just in case I don't like the food, right? Which I will come to in a minute, the food. Oh, it gets better. So anyway, I'm sat down on a chair. Bearing in mind, I should be boarding. The gate number hadn't come up yet as I'm on the official board. So I say to the woman, I said, well, is it okay if I quickly dap to W.H. Smith because I wanted to get a drink, right? And she was like, yeah, sure. So I literally practically run, which is not easy with a stick and a crowded place, right? I grabbed me stuff, God knows what I grabbed. I just grabbed some stuff, chucked it in the thing. Turns out I bought strawberry Coke, which isn't too bad because I don't mind strawberry Diet Coke, so that was lucky. Right, I just grabbed stuff, chucked it in, self-service, grabbed it in a bag, boom, and got back there, right? Then they got like these big buggies turn up. They call a load of people over and then send most of them back because there wasn't enough space. Only one buggy had turned up when I was expecting 2. Of course, this is time's ticking on. I'm thinking, I'm going to miss my fucking flight here. I was actually starting to get panicky. You know, thinking, I'm going to miss my flight. I'm not going to be able to get on the fucking plane. You know, what am I supposed to do? I could have fucking walked it. If I'd have done it myself, it would have been a lot fucking quicker and I'd been able to sit down and have a nice cup of coffee and a donut and a cake or whatever. But no. So, because of special assistance. So anyway, I'm then said, sit back down. Then we get called again. Now, bearing in mind, like I said, this is people who have mobility issues. If they aren't already in a chair, a wheelchair that is, you know, they're probably walking with a stick or crutches or something like that, right? So then we're told to sit down. Then we get called up, literally, we just sit down and we get called up again because the other buggy turns up, right? They cram us on the buggy goes off, right? Pegging it down. Get to the gate. Of course, I've missed my priority boarding. So then I still have to queue for the extra little bit of security by the gate to get through, right? And I'm told to sit at the front and I'll be called. Now, all the front seats have like little wheelchair symbols on, like disability signs on them. And there were people that were sitting there that weren't disabled. They just decided to sit in the front, despite the fact they wouldn't have been called for ages to sit down. So they're calling for like priority boarding and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's me. And then I'm like, no, hang on a minute, that's not priority board. They were calling normal boarding. Right? So in the end, I thought like, fuck this. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Nobody has said nothing. Right? The announcements, you could hardly hear what they were announcing anyway. And people were just stood up in queuing just for the sake of it, even though they weren't being called yet. Right? Which makes it awkward for other people that have been called to get through. So anyway, I just got up. But the next time she called any group, I just got up and walked to the side because it was like seating numbers one side, the other door for the other seats, because it was a big 747, like big double-decker bus. So double-decker bus, double-decker plane even. Might just as well have been a bus. I just hand me ticket. She said, yeah, go on down through. So I go to sit down. Of course, because of the people who already boarded, there was this poor bloke I had to, ask him to move. I then had to try and put my bag up and everything else and get in and sit down, try and sort all my stuff out and what have you. So anyway, I sit down and I'm like, am I really in like World Traveller Plus? Because this seat is so fucking narrow. Now, I'm not exactly a slim person, I know that. Right, but my hips were touching either side of the seat. I could not get my hand down between my hip and the side of the seat. I have sat in car seats bigger. The fucking wheelchair I was being wheeled up in was a bigger seat. Yeah, okay, I had the leg room, which was good. But apart from that, the seat was shit. And on the inside of the arm, excuse me, on the seat on the inside of the arm was the little remote control for the TV screen in front, which, by the way, was so fucking tiny, I didn't watch a film on it because it was too small. I couldn't focus on it properly, and it was being like the bigger leg space. It was too far away. It was too small and too far away. I couldn't watch a film on it properly, right? Plus the headphones they had were the big over-the-head, over-the-ear ones, which I'll wear them if I have to, but they weren't comfortable on the top of my head. But anyway, and like I said, because they have the little remote control on the inside of the arm, right, I had to pull it out, because it's on like a wire, and hang it over the edge of the seat, because my butt kept accidentally calling the air stewardess over, kept calling the cabin crew, right? I kept hitting the call button with my ass. And first of all, I was thinking, well, why isn't this TV working? Because my ass was pressing the fucking buttons, that's why. So yeah, narrow seat, tiny screen in front. I just literally put it on the little plane thing so you can watch where you're going with the plane. At the window, so it wasn't too bad. I could look out the window, that wasn't too bad. Anyway. And now we come on to the food. Now, I've done it in the past because sometimes I'm a bit fussy about what I eat and the food isn't always that. So I've always been told, go for the gluten-free special meal. You can't go wrong with that. Now, every time I've ordered that before when I've flown, it's been lovely, it's been great. I can actually eat most of it. There's usually some in that little plate thing that I can eat. Now, not with British Airways. Oh, no. She comes over, she puts a tray in front of me, right? There's a gluten-free roll, brown roll, which actually wasn't too bad. A little bit dry, but not too bad. With the shitty butter that they always put. It's not real butter, it was like shitty fake butter, but it was okay. What else was there? The main meal, which I'll come to in a minute. Bowl of, I thought was chicken salad. I think it was artichoke or some sort of weird fucking onion in some disgusting sauce. With a couple of green leaves of something and a few cherry tomatoes. Blech, in some weird sauce that I didn't like. I wouldn't have had the salad anyway, but there you go. And I had this little square slab of like some sort of chocolate oatmeal thing with chocolate spread on the top and one raspberry chucked on the top of it, which wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. Not very filling, but anyway. So the main meal, I lift the foil off and I'm hit with the smell, and I immediately with it. It was fish, and it was some sort of white steamed cod, no sauce, no nothing. I don't know what was next to it. It was some sort of brown sludgy vegetable. I didn't even look properly. I put the foil straight back over it. Was like, I can't eat that. I actually got the smell of the fish on my fingers from like the tray, and it was there for ages. I couldn't even wash it off. It was disgusting. Ugh. Anyway, yuck. So that was the main meal. Didn't eat that. Later on they came round with drinks. Normally I get like sparkling water, but no, I thought, oh, I'd almost finished my bottle of Coke, so I thought, oh, have they got any Diet Coke? No cans of Diet Coke left. All she could offer me was Coke Zero, and I don't like Coke Zero because I don't like the taste of Coke, so I don't like Coke Zero. So I ended up with a Sprite, which was okay, but sometimes Sprite upsets my stomach, which it did. And then they came out with some ice creams, which was nice. Just like normal little magnums, you know, like the vanilla ice cream with the chocolate around the outside. They were nice. So like the afternoon tea thing was like, oh, pizza pockets. And I thought, oh, that'd be nice. That's what I can eat. Some of that'd be nice and smells nice. So I thought, oh, that'd be all right. No, what did I get? Some tortilla wrap thing with peppers in it. And I'm talking like red, green, yellow peppers. I can't eat those sort of things. They upset my stomach somewhat chronic, right? And what else came with it? A slice of fruit cake. And what was in that fruit cake? Citrus peel, i.e. orange, which means I couldn't eat that either. I mean, she came back and I just handed it straight to her and I said, sorry love, I can't eat either of them. You know. But oh, that reminds me, with the main meal, when I handed it back and I said, sorry, I can't eat fish, and she said, oh, I'll go see if I can sort you something else out. That never happened. That never happened. It wasn't until after everybody was eating and she took the food away and was coming around with drinks that she suddenly realised, oh, I hadn't given you that, had I? And I thought, yeah, well, never mind. But anyway, yeah, so the afternoon tea, I didn't eat that either. And like I said, I was lucky I had Maltesers in my handbag because I was absolutely starving. Because I got up early, right, didn't have much for breakfast, didn't get a chance to have anything to eat at Paddington Station because I literally got off my train, walked around and got on the Heathrow Express. Because of taking so long at special assistance, I never got the chance to eat anything at Heathrow like I was planning on doing before I got on the plane. The rest of the food on the plane was diabolical. I mean, if it hadn't been for my Maltesers, I think I'd gone into some sort of weird-ass diabetic coma or some shit. I don't know, because I just wasn't eating. They did bring round ice creams, though, which were very nice. Just like your normal Magnum, you know, your vanilla ice cream with the chocolate round. That was okay. But yeah, the food on board was absolutely, I mean, they need something on there. If I'd have seen on their website that said, if you order gluten-free, you may get fish or this, you know, I would have gone, oh no, I'll stick with the normal and take my chance. You know, I need to try and find a way to see if I can cancel my gluten-free meal for going back, because otherwise, yuck. So yeah, the flight going over was diabolical. The seat was narrow, the food was disgusting. When I get to Denver Airport as well, there wasn't even a wheelchair waiting for me where there should have been. So I walked through all the way through to the customs, what have you, got my own suitcase, came out, and then of course then I had to check into Southwest so I could fly Southwest to Vegas. I mean, and then the Southwest flight was delayed by about an hour. So by the time I got back to where I was staying in Las Vegas, I'd been awake for about 25 hours. I'd actually got my second wind and was too wide awake and couldn't sleep, you know. But anyway, so yeah, the actual flight was, I'm sorry BA, But if that is for a first experience, I had a terrible first experience. They even sent me an email with, would you like to fill out this questionnaire? Oh boy, did I fill out that questionnaire. But yeah, so anyway, that's my rant about British Airways. Yeah. I don't know what else to say apart from I'm not looking forward to the flight home. Now, I know it was an older 747 and they are not as comfy and as nice as the newer models. But again, a little heads up and a little warning would have been nice. You know, like I said, the seat... I've sat in bigger economy size seats. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, that's my rant. Thank you for watching if you did. If not, then fair enough. Fair enough. It's just me getting it off my chest more than anything else. So, yeah. If I can think of anything else, I'll add it on the end, and then it'll just be a completely different edited bit. So, oh, actually, I'm wearing something else because I remembered something else about the flight. Yeah. Anyway, that's it for my rant. You all take care. And go and watch all my other holiday videos that I will be putting up when I was in Vegas and when I was in Denver. So, yeah, go watch them. Thank you. Alright, catch you all later. Love you, bye. Okay, I thought I would update this rant video about British Airways and my, let's just say, diabolical flights. Okay. As you've seen before, you've just seen about my flight going from London to Denver and the food there. Well, let me tell you about my flight coming back from Denver to London Heathrow. Well, what can I say? For starters, it was the same type of 747, which meant once again narrow seats and the remote control on the inside of the seat. So as soon as I got to the seat, I thought, okay, it's a small one again, and I immediately pulled the remote control out and threw it on its little wire over the armrest, because I thought I'm not going to be accidentally calling the cabin crew again with my box. It was touching it. It was a night flight coming back, because we left Denver about 7:30 at night with the time zone difference and stuff. We got into London at about 11:30 the next day, like the Wednesday morning. And also bearing in mind, because it was a night flight, obviously it was different meals, and they would like they turned the lights out so everybody was supposed to go to sleep, which I didn't really, because I never properly sleep on a plane. I just don't know what it is, I can't sleep. No matter what I do with the seat and stuff like that, I couldn't get comfortable. I also had a rear row seat, so I was like right at the back. So I could have dropped my seat right back if I wanted to, but it's still... I still couldn't sleep. That's just me, I just can't sleep on a plane. Anyway, so yeah. Night flight. Meals. Okay, so the first thing that came around, being World Traveller Plus, was they came around with, would you like water or fruit juice? No wine or anything like that. Water or fruit juice. So I had a glass of water. Then later on they came round, once we'd taken off, they came round with like other drinks, like would you like alcohol? And I said, well, no, I don't. So I just said, like, he said, well, I'll give you 2 cans of Diet Cokes, then you got one ready for your meal. I mean, poor sod, he was all on his own in our little section. Now, when I flew over, there were 2 cabin crew for exactly the same amount of people. Coming back, there was only 1. So the poor sod, he was being rushed all over the place. I actually felt sorry for him. But he was a lovely chap. Wish I'd got his name, but he was really nice. And he was, oh, so helpful. He really was. And yeah, I felt sorry for him because he had to like run around like nobody's business. So it's like the chap sat next to me ordered wine. So he gave him like 2 bottles of wine. So well, one for now, one for with your meal. Because literally not an hour later after that, he'd done all of that, the evening meal came round. Now, like I said, I'd ordered a gluten-free meal, but when I looked at the packages, it was called a lactose-free meal. Now, which actually works better for me because I have recently become more lactose intolerant, so I have lactose-free milk and stuff like that, which helps my stomach. So, lactose-free meal, it didn't make no difference to me. Lactose-free, gluten-free, both worked for me. It was fine. Obviously what they tend to do is if you have a special meal, they bring them out first, so I was given mine like before he started serving everybody else. And it was supposed to be, she says, it said on the top of the thing, stir-fry noodles. So I thought, ooh, stir-fry noodles. That's probably gonna be nice. I don't mind stir-fry. I like noodles. I can pick vegetables out and stuff like that. Not a problem. That'd be nice. I also had, what was it came with it? The usual bread roll, which was not as nice as the one I had going over. It was a little bit crunchy, it was a little bit hard, wasn't as nice. Came with a little pot of salad, which was just bog standard salad. Looked like spinach leaves, a couple of cherry tomatoes, carrot bits in it, and bog standard salad, which I never eat anyway because I don't like salad. And the dessert was some sort of like, I think it was Greek yogurt or something like that, because it tasted very sour. I don't know if it's sour cream or yogurt or whatever. And it had some fruit on it. It looked like there was one strawberry cut into 4 pieces, some blackberries, some blueberries, and a couple of raspberries. So that was okay, but I don't really like blackberries and blueberries, so I ate the strawberries and the raspberries. So that wasn't too bad. But yeah, I don't know what it was, if it was a sour cream with it or yogurt, but whatever it was, it tasted nasty, too sour. Didn't like it. Didn't like that at all. Now, Warren had flown over to Denver, normal economy, and he said it was a bigger seat and a bigger screen, and it was a better seat in economy than what it was in World Traveller Plus. He said the only downside was obviously the legroom. And to be honest, I like the legroom because it means I can stretch my legs out and my knees. So I can I can sort of like bend my legs without having to physically get up and walk around. So that, I like the legroom. So yeah, anyway, coming back, his meal, he chose some chicken thing, which just like he said was like a big fillet of chicken with some sort of Dauphinoise potato type thing and some veg. A couple of hours before they start serving the main meals and stuff, they come round with a little card. And the little card says what there is. Now, all it said for dessert was seasonal dessert. Didn't say what the actual dessert was. So, of course, the chap puts the tray down in front of one, and it's just like little square, looks like chocolate tiramisu or something like that type thing, So he says to the chap, he says, what's the dessert? And he was like, doesn't it say on the card? And Warren says, like, no, it only says seasonal dessert. And the chap says, I'm not sure what it is. And Warren says, he says, I have a nut allergy. So obviously I want to know what it is before I eat it. So the chap goes, hang on a minute, let me have a look. So he daps out the back, and then literally not like about a minute later he comes out and he's got like this yogurt pot in his hand, and he's just sort of like, yeah, that's got nuts in it, so let me take that away for you, sort of thing. And hands him the yogurt, and Warren's like, no, that's fine, no worries, And the bloke was like really apologetic, But I mean, again, BA. For fuck's sake, BA, if he'd had not known and hadn't asked, what if he'd have eaten that? He could have had an anaphylactic shock or some sort of a reaction to it on the plane. Duh. Don't just write seasonal dessert on your cards, mate. Seriously. Write down what it is. What if there'd been somebody else on the plane that didn't know what it was and just ate it? And didn't bother asking like he did? It could have been a disaster. But anyway, there you go, another thing, BA. Sort out your menus better. I mean, I've already said this before about, like, if you want to order a gluten-free meal or something like that. If I'd have known I could possibly have gotten fish, I'd have took my chances with a normal meal, But anyway, yeah, so his was okay. Anyway, back to mine. I didn't tell you about mine, did I? Stir-fry noodles. It looked like somebody had gotten something that resembled noodles, boiled the hell out of them till there was no flavour in them whatsoever, chucked it in a dish with a few chopped up bits of veg. I mean, I'm eating these noodles going, there's got to be some flavour there somewhere. Nope, no flavour in those noodles whatsoever. So, yeah, I did pick out the veg, and I probably ate maybe a quarter of the noodles that were in there, because to be honest, they were just so bland and tasteless. It was like, yuck. But anyway, so then, of course, being a night flight, they turn all the lights out, everybody's expected to go to sleep. I couldn't really sleep. And they wanted you to shut the blinds. Now, I have this weird sort of claustrophobia thing, but I like to see a window. It's like I couldn't stay in a hotel room that didn't have a window. I like to be able to look out a window, so I don't feel so claustrophobic. Especially if I'm going to be in that room or that space for a long time. So I said to the chap, I said, I need the blind open. He's like, if I just have a little bit at the bottom. And he was like, yeah, sure. He said, it's just that when the sun comes up, obviously it comes blaring through and lights up the whole cabin, especially when other people are trying to sleep. So I said, okay. So I literally had it just a little bit. So and if I wanted to, I could sort of like bend down and look, and I could see through the gap. And no, it was, yeah, I could see outside. There wasn't much to see because it was dark, but it's a me thing, okay? I get weird. Shut up. Leave me alone. So, obviously, several hours later, every so often he would come around with, like, would you like some orange juice or water? Stuff like that, you know. And I was okay. I had my own bottle of water that I took on board and stuff like that. So, yeah, I was doing okay. Trying to doze on and off, couldn't really sleep. The chair was just, even if I put it right back, it was just so tight either side on my hips. I had no, like, wiggle room. I couldn't wiggle, you know. I couldn't sleep sideways. It was, just a really uncomfortable chair. But anyway. So then, obviously, about an hour or so before landing, they come round with breakfast. Now, everybody else had this sort of like wrap. It was either like egg and bacon or like a cream cheese and something croissant type thing. And what did I get? I had a nice little box. I opened the box. What's inside the box? A tub of fruit. Now, it was some melon, some blueberries, and pineapple. I can't eat pineapple, which meant, and because there was pineapple juice in the bottom, I couldn't even eat the melon. So, guess who had no breakfast? But anyway, so yeah, once again, I know some people are going to go like, well, it's a personal choice, you know, and not everybody's going to like everything you get, you know. But again, it's like, I can't help the food intolerances I've got, same as Warren can't help his allergies. You can't help if you can't eat certain things, okay? So I know me moaning about some of it is just going to be like me moaning about it because I couldn't eat it. But then again, I would have been okay with the sort of like egg and bacon wrap thing. I could have eaten that. You know, I'd have been getting off the plane in a couple of hours. So even if the eggs or the gluten or whatever in it upset my system, I would have been okay. You know. But it's just, I don't know. It's just, yeah, I know people are going to go like, oh, you're just moaning for the sake of moaning. And for some of it, I probably am. But when you're looking at stuff like with allergies as an example, like Warren with his nut allergy, and there was nothing on the thing to say there was nuts in that. That could have been dangerous for other people if they hadn't asked. You know, the fact that, yeah, some of the stuff I needed, like milk-wise, had to be lactose-free, and some of it, you know, if I hadn't have asked, it wouldn't have been. You know, it's just, there needs to be a better and more distinct labelling of what there is. I mean, they give you the little card with what's there. There's nothing. Why don't put seasonal dessert? Put what the actual dessert is going to be. If Warren had known it had nuts in it, he wouldn't have even asked. He wouldn't have needed to ask. You know, and stuff like that. And as for the seats, well, yeah, I've sat in bigger car seats. Put it this way, like I said, you know, I was sat on a train and the seat was bigger with more leg room. And it's just sort of like, nah, I'm sorry, BA, it makes me not want to fly BA again. But then on the other hand, it also makes me want to fly BA again just to see if it was a one-off. You know, maybe it was because of the aeroplane, but like I said, on the other hand, it also makes me want to fly economy because at least then I know I'll get a bigger seat. And all I do is I ask for an aisle seat and I just stick my leg down the aisle or something and move it if anybody wants to walk past. You know, but I don't know. It was just a diabolical flight there, diabolical flight back, and I was just not happy with the food, or anything else. But anyway, yeah, that's a little update here. That was my flight coming home. So yeah, anyway, that's the end of my rant. Thanks for watching if you did. If you had any issues with British Airways or any other airlines in the past, stuff like that, feel free to put it in the comments below. And yeah, I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, I am home, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed why I'm only wearing something completely different. But anyway, yeah. So, you all take care. I love you all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.